Welcome to my pre-algebra class. We're on chapter 6, section 7. And we're going to go through the different types of quadrilaterals, and we're going to use this website. A quadrilateral has exactly 4 sides, and the sum of all the interior angles is 360 because we can make 2 triangles inside. So quadrilateral, just 4 sides. A trapezoid is a special quadrilateral that has one set of parallel sides. So here, these 2 sides are parallel. An isosceles trapezoid has one pair of parallel sides, and then the opposite sides here are congruent. So this side equals this side. Parallelogram, it has opposite sides are parallel. So here, the top and the bottom are parallel, the left and the right are parallel. And opposite sides are equal. Therefore, their angles, the opposite angles, are equal. Rectangle is a special parallelogram. It has opposite sides that are parallel, opposite sides equal, opposite angles equal, but all the angles are right angles. A rhombus is another special parallelogram, as the opposite sides are parallel and opposite angles are equal, but all 4 sides are equal. And that moves us to the final parallelogram, the square, which is actually a parallelogram, then a rectangle, and then a rhombus, because all of its sides are equal, all of its angles are right angles, opposite sides are parallel and congruent. So that concludes our investigation of the quadrilaterals, and we're ready to work on the assignment. So take your paper, page 267, guided practice 1 to 16, exercises 1 to 12. So it's headed, folded, and we're on 267. The guided practice number 2, they want to know what is the difference between a parallelogram and a trapezoid. A parallelogram has 2 pairs of parallel sides. I'm going to use the symbol for parallel. A trapezoid has 1 pair of parallel sides. Four, 5, and 6 refer to the terms defined in the chart on page 266 and list all the names that apply to the figure. Well, number 4, if we look at the figure, we have 4 right angles, opposite sides are equal and congruent, and opposite sides are parallel. So that would make it a rectangle. But if it's a rectangle, it's also a parallelogram. And it's also a quadrilateral. So the way the chart's set up on page 266, anything below connected to a shape above it, that figure is also that. Problem number 6, looking at it, we know it's a 4-sided figure, so we could say it's quadrilateral. And we can see that there is 1 pair of parallel sides, the other 2 are not, so that would make it a trapezoid. Number 8, in the figure at the right, RSTU is a trapezoid. We'll go ahead and draw that. So RSTU is a trapezoid. Number 8, name the side that is opposite line segment RU. Well, here's RU. The side opposite would be TS. And number 10, are opposite angles equal in measure? So is this angle, which is a right angle, equal to this angle, which is obviously not? And this one is not equal to this one. So the answer is no. And then problems 11 through 16. In the figure at the right, JKLM is a rhombus. Find each measure. Well, we're going to go ahead and put in the angles and then see if we can. Oh, let's get rid of that one. This is the one I want. Okay, so we have this rhombus, and it's labeled J, K, L, M. And they tell us that this side is 6 centimeters long. This is angle 1, 2, 3, and then they tell us this angle is 33 degrees. And this angle is 114 degrees. Since it's a rhombus, opposite angles are congruent, so this is also 114 degrees. And opposite side, since it's a rhombus, all the sides are the same length, so we can go ahead and just put all the lengths in. And what we need is to find angles 1, 2, 3. This line KL is parallel to JK, and this is a transversal. So angles on either side of the transversal interior, they'd be alternate interior angles. This is 33 degrees also. So if I need to find angle 1 or angle 3, I can use the triangle. Sum of angles is 180. So if I take 180 minus 114 plus 33, which is 180 minus 144. I get 36. Okay, I think I made a mistake here. This is 114, and I add 33. I get 147. So 180 minus 147, that's also 33. So problem number 12, the measure of angle L is 114 degrees. And number 14, the measure of angle 1 is 33 degrees. And number 16, the measure of angle 3 is 33 degrees. Be sure and draw this on your paper so that you have the answers to your odds available to you. And you can put it in the center of the paper, or maybe underneath. Probably just put it in the center of the paper. That would work. Okay, but now we're on the exercises. And we have 1 to 12 to do there, so problem number 2. In the figure at the right, X, Y, Z, W is a rectangle. And if we label it, we have X, Y, Z, W. And then we have this diagonal drawn. And they give us these sides. This is 6 meters. This is 12 meters. This is 1, 2, and 27. And this is angle 3. Well, opposite sides of a rectangle are congruent, so this side is 6 and this is 12. And alternate interior angles are congruent, so angle 2 is 27. And these two angles, 1 and 2, make a right angle. So if I take 90 minus 27, I get 63 degrees. So angle 1 is 63. And 1 and 3 are alternate interior angles, so 3 is 63 degrees. So if you'll make this in the middle of your paper, you have your answers for the odds as well as the evens. So problem number 2, the measure of angle Z, and that would be a right angle here, is 90 degrees. The angles of a rectangle are 90 degrees. Number 4, the measure of angle 1, we figured that out at 63 degrees. And 6, the measure of angle 3, we also figured that out, that's 63 degrees. And the next shape that we have is a parallelogram. And within the parallelogram we have a square. And it is labeled A, B, C, D, E, F. And they say this is angle 1, this is 5 inches, this is 4 inches, and this is 53 degrees. Okay, let's go ahead and put the labels, label everything that we can, or find the measurements of everything we can. Line segment AB is also 4 since this is a square. BD is 4, ED is 4. They gave us that this was 3 inches here. So if this is 3, opposite sides of a parallelogram are congruent, so this here must, FE must also be 3. Opposite sides of a parallelogram, so if this is 5 inches, this must be 5 inches. The angles of a square are all right angles, 90 degrees. And we have angle C is 53 degrees. And opposite angles of a parallelogram are equal, so this is 53 degrees. And the only angle left to find is angle 1. And since this is 90, this has to be 90 because that's a straight angle or straight line. So I could take 90 minus 53, and I see that the complement is going to be 37. So angle 1 is 37 degrees. We have all the answers to the evens and the odds, so we're on number 8. The measure of angle BAE. BAE is 90 degrees. It's one of the angles of the square. Number 10, the measure of angle F. Angle F was 53 degrees. And number 12, the measure of angle 1. Angle 1 was 37. Be sure you put the shape in the middle of your paper, show how you found angle 1. And then that concludes the evens. Be sure and check the answer key in the back for the odds